Today, we're jumping into something we've wanted to try for years, a full whiskey and food pairing experience.
I am in euphoria. We've got 10 easy ways to make your next hangout or house party a whole lot more fun. This is honestly one of the coolest ways to introduce people to whiskey. And if you want to look like you know whiskey, check out the Barrel Hunters merch store. We have shirts for every occasion, every season, and it's the best way to support our channel, so we can keep bringing content like this to you.
And huge shout out to everyone who joined us for our first ever live stream. You guys absolutely showed up and it was way more fun than we ever expected.
And if you missed it, don't worry. We're already planning our next one for when we hit 25,000 subscribers. So if you want to be part of our next live hangout, make sure that you're subscribed and you're following along.
Whiskey is already great on its own, but the right food can completely transform it. And most people never think about how the flavors in simple everyday foods can make a whiskey sweeter, spicier, or even smoother on the second sip.
So we wanted to show you just how easy and how eye-opening these pairings can actually be. Whether you're hosting a party or just hanging out with friends, this is one of the fastest ways to make whiskey more fun and way more interactive.
So let's kick things off with pairing number one and show you how simple and how fun this really is. All right, pairing number one, we've got honey roasted peanuts with Stranahan's Blue Peak, an American single malt. Super simple, super approachable, and honestly, one of the easiest ways to warm up your palate. Now, I picked Blue Peak to start because American single malts rely heavily on barley as their primary grain. And barley naturally gives you those toasty, cereal forward flavors that play insanely well with honey and roasted nuts.
Oh, I can't wait. There's two things that I love, is whiskey and nuts.
You heard it here first, folks. So the proper way you want to do these tastings is first you want to sip the whiskey, understand its flavor profile and the notes that you're getting from the whiskey. Next thing you want to do is take a bite of the food. And then you want to see, is it salty, is it sweet, is it crunchy? Whatever you're getting from the food, highlight those notes. But then the most important part is taking a second sip of the whiskey, because now you want to see how the food has transformed that whiskey from the first sip to the second. And you should be getting some slightly different notes on the second sip.
All right, Ryan, I cannot wait to try some of the Stranahans. I love Stranahans. I love nuts. Let's get going. So right off the cuff, I'm getting a lot of the oak. I'm getting a lot of the caramel notes. I'm also getting some nutty notes on this, and that's before even trying the nuts. So I think that this is gonna pair beautifully.
Yeah, I definitely get a lot of like cereal grain in there, like oats. I get oatmeal type flavors in here. A little bit of grass. Very sweet though.
It is. I'm getting a lot of the vanilla and the caramel in there. I still get that buttery note, the nuts. I am getting a little bit of that grass that you're talking about. Still a little bit of oak. This is a very, very nice whiskey, and I cannot wait to see how it pairs with food.
Man, already, without having a second sip, that's a good pairing.
And the whiskey has already elevated the experience of eating these roasted nuts.
So I'm getting like a red fruit note in there that I wasn't getting before.
I could get that. I got a lot of like just buttered popcorn up front. And then it started kind of evolving a little bit. Started getting some of those red cherries, some dark fruits in there. This is a fantastic pairing, Ryan. You did a fantastic job with this.
Thank you. And you know what? The honey roasted nuts actually brought forward some more honey flavor in the whiskey that I was not getting before.
So what other whiskeys would you recommend pairing with nuts?
Honestly, since we're using an American single malt here, you could also use a Scotch as well, because barley is the primary grain. However, we wanted to feature an American single malt.
All right, next up, I've got a couple of different cheeses that I'll be pairing. First up is the goat cheese with Kamiki Japanese whiskey. And this one is all about balance. The goat cheese is creamy, tangy, and super light, so it needs a whiskey that won't bulldoze it. Now, Kamiki is perfect because it's delicate, it's layered, and famously finished in Japanese cedar casks, which brings this soft, aromatic character that you don't find anywhere else. And the cool thing about light whiskeys like this is that their flavor really opens up when the food adds fat and acidity. If you don't have Kamiki on your shelf, you can use another gentler, mellow Japanese whiskey like Hibiki Harmony, or an Irish whiskey like Redbreast 12 to pair with this very soft and gentle cheese.
I cannot wait to get into this.
I'm sure you can't, because you're a cheesy guy.
And that was a cheesy line.
That was.
Oh my God.
Oh, the smell of oak. I'm almost getting like a hint of like floral notes on this, like lavender. I'm getting, this is so good.
Oh yeah, and you can get like, I'm almost getting like a sandalwood type scent in there. That is a great pour.
It is delicious. I'm getting so much green apple. This is a very gentle whiskey, but it packs a lot of flavor. This is a fantastic pour in its own, Ryan, but let's see how it pairs with the goat cheese.
This is already gonna be epic. I'm housing this thing.
You know how I've said before that some whiskeys make me feel like I'm being wrapped in this beautiful, gentle blanket? This goat cheese just made me feel that way.
Now let's see how it's transformed after a second sip. Oh my God, that just elevated everything.
So the second time around, I got a lot more vanilla notes and that oak. And as it lingers, the finish to me gets maltier and almost like chocolate-like. This is so good.
For me, the goat cheese pulled out even more of the wood flavors in there. It just really elevated the whiskey overall, and that's a fantastic pairing. Nice job.
Thank you very much. So if you have some goat cheese lying around, or you have some goats lying around and you want to milk them, get yourself some of that goat cheese.
No, please continue. The people want to hear what you're gonna do with these goats.
Because the goat cheese coats your palate, it smooths everything out, and suddenly Kamiki's gentle fruit and herbal notes become way more noticeable. This was a match made in heaven, Ryan.
10 out of 10 pairing.
Love it. Pairing number 3 is aged cheddar and Aberlour 12. Now the aged cheddar, I think, is gonna pair beautifully with Aberlour 12 because it's sherry finished, it's a single malt, and it brings a ton of big flavor without overwhelming the food. The aged cheddar is sharper, saltier, and more intense than the goat cheese. And guess what, Ryan? So is the Aberlour 12 in comparison to the Kamiki.
Yeah, I think the Aberlour 12 is a nice step up from the Kamiki, especially when you talk about a sharper cheese here.
Exactly. And the best part of what we're doing right now is that we are sobering up as we're getting drunk. So it all works out great. This is like a perfect harmony.
What a concept. Man, Aberlour 12 is definitely a standout in the Scotch world, and it did pretty well in our blind rankings as well.
I absolutely did, because this thing is delicious. This is honestly one of my favorite Scotches.
When it comes to sherry finished casks, that is a standout. That is so good.
It's so good. And you know what else Aberlour 12 could go really well with? Is a very nice dark chocolate. The notes that you get on this Aberlour is a ton of oak and chocolate and coffee notes. This thing is so decadent, it's so delicious, and I cannot wait to eat my little piece of cheese and enjoy.
This isn't exactly a little piece of cheese.
It's not.
This takes up half my face.
Let me try it again. Oh my God.
Well, that was a monster portion.
Okay, so the chocolate, that sharp cheddar gave me a lot of that oak flavor. It almost intensified the oak that I got from the Aberlour. And it also married beautifully with the chocolate notes that I get from the Aberlour. So I look forward to seeing what the second sip is gonna give me.
All right, so the cheese really added like a thick texture, and that was like a perfect coating on top of the cheese.
And in many ways, the Aberlour mellows out the sharpness of the cheese, but you still get that cheese flavor. I think that if you paired this with the goat cheese, I think that it will completely drown out the goat cheese, but the cheddar goes really nicely.
Yeah, the cheddar needs something stronger and bolder to hold up to it, and this does a great job. For pairing number 4, we're moving on from the appetizers and getting into something with a little bit more substance. Spicy chicken tenders with wild turkey rare breed.
Ryan, you know how I feel about spicy food. I am not a spicy food guy. And when we pair this sucker with a little wild turkey that's high proof, I don't know what's gonna come out of me, but I feel sorry for you.
Now I chose rare breed because barrel proof whiskey doesn't hide anything. It's high proof, full of character, and wild turkey specifically brings that classic combo of caramel, baking spice, and a little bit of char. So let's see what it does to the spicy chicken. Oh, yes. Can you imagine this with the spicy chicken right now?
I can. I mean, I'm already getting spicy chicken notes on the nose. I am already sweating.
Yeah.
I feel like I get so much caramel in this. I get so much oak. And I feel like the caramel and the oak is gonna play so nicely with the chicken. Almost like a chicken and waffle, Ryan.
That is a fantastic comparison.
Yeah, let's hope that that's what we get here.
All right. That's such a good pour.
I get chocolatey notes as well in this. Again, the caramel. So for the price that you pay for a wild turkey, you can't beat it at the high proof and just the quality of the whiskey that it is. So I can't wait for this chicken to ruin it for me. I'm excited.
Oh man. The spice from the chicken is already pulling notes from the back of my mouth that were like just lingering there. That is a delicious combo.
I was about to say that I wasn't getting a lot of the spice, but now I'm getting the spice.
Just kicked in, huh?
Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry.
I'm wondering now if this wild turkey is gonna be a good pairing for it. Only one way to find out. Oh. That made it burn 70 times more.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I got nothing but spice.
So for me, I really enjoy spice and I enjoy hot things. So for me, this was a good pairing, but if you don't do well with spice, maybe not the best pairing.
What are you saying about me, Ryan? What are you trying to imply here?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Honestly, I could appreciate it for what it is. I think this is an excellent pairing if you like spice, if you like the kick, because it just amplified the wild turkey. Just took the flavors of the wild turkey and just brought them to 1,000.
It wasn't until that second sip though that you got the full burn between the chicken and the high proof whiskey. It was just incredible.
It was.
For pairing number 5, we're stepping it up with Texas brisket and Pikesville rye. This isn't just any Texas brisket. I got a surprise for you today, bud.
Ooh, what is it? I can't wait.
I went ahead and picked this up from Interstellar Barbecue here in Austin, one of the top ranked barbecue places here, and it also earned itself a Michelin star last year.
Oh my gosh, so we're not just getting any old brisket, we're getting traditional Texas brisket, the old-fashioned way, from one of the people who does it best.
That's right. Now I went with rye for a reason. Rye whiskey brings this natural mix of pepper, spice, mint, and sweetness, and all of that cuts beautifully through the fat and smoke of brisket. Oh my God. That is a fantastic rye.
I am getting so many oak notes that I think are gonna complement the Texas brisket beautifully. Because unlike other types of barbecue, the way that they do it in Texas is a very slow, all night long barbecue where it really tenderizes the meat and brings in a lot of that smoke flavor. So we're gonna get a lot of that with this, and I feel like the oak from the Pikesville is gonna work beautifully.
So I am picking up a bunch of caramel in here too, which I think will add to the sweetness of the pairing flavor with the fattiness of the brisket. I'm pumped for this. You know what I like about this rye too? Is that it's 110 proof. So it packs a punch, it's got a nice backbone, and it's got all the rye flavors that you want to have in there.
I love that even though it is 110 proof, it doesn't drink like an 110 proof rye whiskey. Because rye already has a lot of kick and spice. So when you have a higher proof rye, along with that big spice kick, all of a sudden you might get way too much spice. But this is so balanced, it's so nice, it's complex, and you do get a lot of those oak flavors and caramel notes. I'm about to get ready to take a bite of this brisket and live my life to the fullest. It doesn't get any better than eating brisket and drinking rye.
God, that just melts in your mouth.
It sure does. Nobody does brisket like Texas. I'm sorry if you're watching from a different state or country that makes your own brisket and makes your own barbecue, but the fact is, nobody does it like Texas.
Not even close. For me, the char was really coming out strong there from the brisket, and I think it accentuated the oak really nice here from the whiskey. Oh my God. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the second sip felt a little bit softer, a little bit more subtle. It didn't have quite that same punch. It's almost as if the brisket kind of toned it down a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I got the same flavors that I got from the Pikesville, but elevated, actually. I didn't feel like it toned it down for me. I feel like it almost enhanced the flavor even more because I got more of the pepper, I got more of the oak, I got even more of the caramel notes. So I feel like this was an incredible pairing because it really just worked together beautifully.
And I should clarify, when I said that, I meant as far as like the tone of the proof, I felt was a little bit more mellowed down, but the flavors were all there. If you're hosting a barbecue night and want to impress someone with a whiskey pairing, this is the one that'll make them think you know what you're doing.
Because you do know what you're doing. Because you're an expert now. Because you watched your channel. All right, Ryan. I see your chicken and your brisket, and I will raise you with a little smoked salmon. Now I'm pairing the smoked salmon with Laphroaig 10, and this is the moment in the video where people will either lean in and say, what is this all about? Or their heads will explode. However, don't knock it till you try it. Now Laphroaig is the benchmark for peated Scotch. You get big smoke, brine, campfire, and that signature medicinal note. It's unmistakable. But here we have a twist because the smoked salmon will actually soften those intense flavors instead of amplifying them. So this is gonna be a beautiful pairing of maritime flavors from the salmon and maritime medicinal flavors from the Laphroaig.
I'll believe it when I see it. You said one word before that I'm thinking now, that is unmistakable.
It is, right? And I love that they lean completely into that.
Yeah.
They are not afraid to say, hey, some people might hate our stuff and some people might like it. It's the way with life. We should all live a little bit more like Laphroaig. All right.
All right, here we go.
Salmon time.
We haven't even had the second sip yet, and I'm already in love with this pairing.
I gotta tell you guys, even if you don't like Laphroaig, even if you don't like smoked salmon, try this together and it's gonna completely blow your mind how well they work together. This is the perfect example of why you should pair whiskeys with food.
How is that possible?
I am getting some chocolatey notes in there. I'm getting caramel somehow. And it's just like the finish is lingering and turning more into like this coffee liqueur with caramel flavor in there. I don't know what it did, but this is incredible.
I have a question for you.
All right, and I'm sure I have an answer because I am the smartest man alive, Frank.
Now, if people don't have Laphroaig, or if they don't have smoked salmon, could they substitute it with another Islay whiskey, another peated one? And could they substitute the salmon for maybe a sushi?
That's a great question, Ryan. And the reality is that no, we can't. That's you're screwed. If you don't have smoked salmon, you could definitely substitute it with nigiri or sushi. You want to get something that came from the sea to pair with a Laphroaig. Now, if you don't have Laphroaig, I think you could pair it excellently with something like a Yugadal from Ardbeg. So I would say try something from Islay if you can't get a Laphroaig, which is also from Islay, but definitely try to get the Laphroaig because this has such a unique flavor profile that will go beautifully with the salmon.
All right, Eddie. Now that dinner's over, we're gonna move into the dessert realm. Pairing number 7, we've got vanilla wafers with Bushmills 12. This is gonna be our lightest, easiest dessert pairing of the entire lineup.
Ryan, there's two things that I love, dessert and Bushmills, and I cannot wait to put both of these in my mouth.
Nothing like a good bush in the mouth. I went with Bushmills 12 because Irish whiskey is naturally smooth and fruity thanks to triple distillation, but this bottle in particular was finished in sherry, bourbon, and marsala casks, giving it a very distinct dried fruit and sherry flavor.
I feel like this Bushmills is some of the best Irish whiskey that I've ever had.
Now, I also chose these vanilla wafers specifically after we did the Laphroaig and smoked salmon because sometimes you need a good palate cleanser, and the vanilla wafer does just that.
This is incredible.
I don't even want to drink it. I just want to smell it.
Oh, you know what? It smells so nice that I do want to drink it.
Okay. Screw you then. Oh God, I am getting so much red fruit in this. It's just overpowering and I love it. I'm getting cherries, raspberries, strawberries, you name it. You can put it in a Pop-Tart, it's here.
You know what I'm getting here, Ryan?
Tell me.
You mentioned the fruits. I am getting raspberries dunked in dark chocolate. That's what I got.
That's beautiful.
That's what I got on the nose. You smell that sucker? That's what I get here. I am in euphoria. This is what happens when you pour half a glass of whiskey into my Glencairn glass over here. I haven't even finished this whole thing. I haven't even started with the desserts. This is gonna be a hot mess.
Without further ado, let's do this.
Let's make it happen. I have never enjoyed a vanilla wafer more than I just did right now.
I think you're right.
Because you do get some vanilla notes on the Bushmills as well. So it's not like it's just a wafer for the sake of the wafer. These two really do pair really well together.
Mm-hmm. You know what the first thing I'm getting is?
What is it?
A strawberry cheese Danish. With the fruit from the Bushmills and the vanilla cream from the wafer, those two combined, that's the first thing I got.
I'm getting a lot of the vanilla. I'm getting a lot of that saltiness because you don't get it at all from the Bushmills. So I think that the saltiness is elevated from the wafer, but in a very nice way because I'm also getting that vanilla note. I am getting a little bit of that oak. This is an incredible pairing.
This is exactly the kind of pairing anyone can try at home without thinking too hard. It even makes Irish whiskey feel more approachable, especially for beginners.
For my initial dessert pairing, I am gonna go with dark chocolate with Macallan 12 Sherry Oak. Now this is also a pairing that is so classic it almost feels unfair to include, but it's way too good not to do it. So that's why we're here. I chose Macallan 12 because sherry aged whiskeys bring rich flavors like dark fruit, spice, and dark caramel, all of which play perfectly with the bitterness and depth of dark chocolate.
Okay, so just like we were getting a lot of red fruit on the Bushmills, a ton of that is present in the Macallan as well. I'm getting a ton of like dried strawberries in here. Really nice vanilla notes in here too.
You know, interestingly, I got a lot of orange notes in this. I got like this chocolate covered orange with a little coffee note in there. I feel like this is gonna pair beautifully with dark chocolate.
So a lot of those citrus notes that you got on the nose, I get those on the palate. I get a lot of orange and lemon and sort of that zesty, citrusy type of flavor.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that citrus zest in here. I'm still getting that chocolate note. I think that this is gonna be a very decadent pairing with the dark chocolate.
I agree, and I can't wait to get into it. The dark chocolate notes that we were getting in the Macallan already were just amplified completely by taking that first bite.
Absolutely. And you know what's interesting about this? This dark chocolate to me gave me oak notes. I got like rustic oak notes on this dark chocolate, which is very rare to get from a chocolate. When we take that second sip of the Macallan, it's gonna completely amplify all those flavors that I got before.
Oh my God. I feel like that's been my reaction for every pour.
If you've ever done a wine and food pairing, you'll know that there are certain things that pair really nicely with red wine and some things that pair really nicely with white wine. This is the same thing with whiskey. Whiskey has a lot of different notes that you could pull from a lot of different places here, whether it's from the aging or it's the proof or it's the barrel, the type of barrel. There's so many different notes you could get. Now, when you pair it with certain foods, it amplifies that. Everything becomes more enjoyable, and I feel like that's what I'm getting here with the dark chocolate and the Macallan. This is one of those pairings where if someone has never tried whiskey with food before, they will instantly become a believer.
All right, man, moving on to a denser dessert offering. Pairing number 9 features apple pie with Breckenridge port finish bourbon. Now, if you've been waiting for the pairing that feels like a warm hug from your grandma, this is the one. Now, I went with a port finish bourbon because finishing adds layers of fruitiness and sweetness that straight bourbon doesn't have on its own. And port barrels especially bring berry notes, soft tannins, and a richer feel, all things that love being paired with apple, cinnamon, and pastry.
The moment I smelled this, I felt like this would be perfect with apple pie because you're getting some of the buttery notes, you're getting some of the apple notes, you're getting that cinnamon, you're getting some of those cloves. This, without trying it yet, might just be my favorite pairing.
God, that's a good pour. And you know what? This is a distillery that doesn't get a ton of recognition, but they make some delicious whiskey.
This drink to me gave me so much of that same buttery note, the same like pecan notes, and I got a little bit of that clove. I got a little bit of that cinnamon, and on top of all that, Ryan, I got a little bit of apple notes in there. So it only stands to reason that this may just be the perfect bottle to pair with apple pie.
Let's give it a shot, shall we? That crust is so flaky, buttery. The apple is nice and thick in there.
The flavors from the apple pie are almost amplified by the flavors from the Breckenridge.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. What a great pairing. I'm getting even more buttery notes right now than I was on the first sip, thanks in part to the apple pie's buttery crust.
Again, they just pair so nicely together. One does not overpower the other.
This is one of the most dessert-forward pairings in the lineup and probably the easiest for newcomers to love immediately.
I mean, I loved it immediately, so why can't a newcomer? Or maybe I am a newcomer, I don't know.
Newcomers and experts alike will love it immediately.
Continuing the pie trend, pairing number 10 is pecan pie with Woodford Reserve double oaked. And honestly, this might be the most on-brand dessert pairing that you could ever put in front of a bourbon drinker. I went with double oaked because it's basically bourbon turned up to a dessert level. It's got its signature flavor from aging in a second heavily toasted barrel, which pushes out huge notes of caramel, chocolate, vanilla, and sweet oak.
My God, man, I am pumped about this particular pairing. Well done.
Oh, I'm glad, Ryan, because I cannot wait to see your face when you shove that pie in your mouth, take a little sip of that whiskey, and you say, wow, Eddie, this is the best thing I've ever had in my mouth.
That's not gonna happen.
So Ryan, I poured just a little bit more in our glass because I have a special surprise for you.
You're kidding.
I have something for you that you're gonna love to put in your mouth.
Caramel and vanilla just coming through at the forefront.
I am getting so much French toast on this.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Just French toast with maple syrup in a glass right in here, and it makes you so much happier than eating French toast.
Had a little bit of a spice kick in there too. God, the flavors of brown sugar, caramel, vanilla, those are just so prevalent in this bottle.
So the caramel notes and the buttery notes that I'm also getting from this, and I get a little bit of the nutty flavor from the Woodford Reserve. I feel like it's gonna go so nicely with the pecan pie.
I can already see how this is gonna be a fantastic pairing because you got that kind of like gooiness, caramel, kind of nutty notes in the pecan pie, and that's gonna go perfect with this double oaked.
I couldn't say it better myself, especially since I still had food in my mouth because I ate the whole thing in one shot.
Well done. That was impressive, man, seriously.
Yeah, the ladies out there, write me in the comments below. What do you think about that?
Guys too. So you know one thing that the pecan pie did for the double oaked was the crust especially pulled out some of those like more buttery, rich notes that I wasn't getting before. That was amazing.
And you know what I got too, Ryan? You mentioned before that little bit of a kick that you got early on, that spice. I got that full front and center that's on the second sip. This was a very nice pairing. I'm happy we did this. And Ryan, I have a little surprise for you now. We still have a little bit of whiskey left in our glass. I have a cookie.
Where did you pull this cookie from?
I will not tell you, Ryan. That's gonna be my secret. But I pulled it out and I whipped it out for you. This is my cookie to you.
Did you make this?
No, I can't bake. You know who can bake really well? Is Ryan. Ryan makes some incredible cookies, and he learned how to make his cookies from his mom, and his mom makes incredible cookies as well. They actually even had a cookie bake-off, and I won't be ashamed to say it. Your mom won that one. It's her birthday today.
I'm not ashamed either, and I'm so glad you said that because happy birthday, Mom. We are filming this on her birthday, so happy birthday.
Now, I did not bake this, but it's a delicious cookie, and it's chocolate chip. It has all the things that I think will go super nicely with a Woodford Reserve.
Only one way to find out.
Here you go, my friend.
Let's split this in half so we can both do it.
Oh, thank God. I was hoping you'd say that. Because I only have one cookie, and I was really hoping you'd share it with me.
First thing right off the bat, it's a soft chew. That is my favorite kind. Ain't nobody got time for teeth-breaking cookies, okay? Soft chew is the way to go. That's freaking delicious. This is gonna pair really well with the Woodford.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, man, it's hard. Like both of the desserts pair really well, but they both pull out different notes.
And that's the beautiful part about pairing food with whiskey is that you could get so many different notes from either of them. I will have to say that I actually enjoyed the pairing with the cookie a little bit more than the pecan pie.
You know, I think I'm gonna agree with you there. Like I really enjoyed the pecan pie with the Woodford, but man, that chocolate cookie pulled out all these notes. It was a totally different experience. It just plays off of each other so nice.
So these pairings were pure luxury. If you're trying to end your night on a high note, I think that this might just be the mic drop.
What a way to end the night.
What a way. So there you have it. 10 pairings that take whiskey night from pretty good to legendary. If you want us to do a part 2 with budget bottles, cocktails, or even the weirdest pairings we can think of, let us know in the comments.
Also, make sure to wish my mom a happy birthday in the comments as well. Until next time, cheers.